a lot of work. Probably we're fine. Yeah, we're good. Hello everybody, welcome or welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now today we are at part 4, the final part of my LoverFest series. If you haven't seen the first 3 parts about the setlist, costumes and set design, I'll leave a link to the playlist down below, because I think they might provide a bit of context to the choices in this video. I do need to mention that a lot of my ideas throughout the entire series were inspired by Nicole Millers' video on LoverFest. So I'll leave a link to her channel so you can go ahead and check it out. Now in this video, we're going to be talking about all the extra bits. So like the single releases, the pre-show playlist, like awards and the show might win, etc, etc. Before we begin, please make sure you leave a like on this video. Again, it really helps me out. And please subscribe because this is a mainly Taylor Swift channel, but I do sometimes do Olivia Rodrigo and I try to branch out a bit. And also I do have a lot of videos that are planned and filmed and ready to go, so please stay tuned for those and let's get on with it. So the first bit of extra stuff to do with the tour are the single releases. So I think there'll be about 3 or 4 singles released during the tour, as promotion and to end the tour, etc. So Cruel Summer will be released as a single, as a proper single, not a promo one, but it will be for promo for the tour. To get people hyped for it, so maybe the day before or a week or so before, should release it as a single, send it to radio, with a music video and everything. So it would not be a promo single, but it will be done for promo, if you get what I mean. Miss Americana and the Heartbreak Prince would also be released as a single at the end of the tour with a tour video, because with a lot of her tours, minus the Reputation tour and probably Eras as well, she usually would have a single release with a tour video, a compilation of footage for a music video. So think New Romantics, Red, Fearless, so for etc. And then The Archer would be released as a single during the tour, but there wouldn't be any video, but it was promo for it. And then we're going to move on to the pre-show playlist. Now this was a bit hard for me because I don't really listen to other artists other than Taylor Swift, Olivia Rodrigo, sometimes Katy Perry, sometimes Lyric, sometimes Ariana Grande, but not really any others. So I just searched up popular artists and songs they released at the time, or popular songs. I do know that a lot of pre-show playlists include songs from ages ago, for example Applause on the Eras tour pre-show playlist, that's from a decade ago. So I didn't make sure to include a few of those, but I did mainly include the songs that are out at that time, and some of her friends who she collabed with or friends with who released music at the time. And most of these songs I have not listened to at all. I just searched up and was okay, put it down because it was out at that time. So if these songs are bad or controversial, I wouldn't know that, because again, a lot of these artists I don't listen to, and I just searched it up. But on my pre-show playlist, we had Daisies by Katy Perry, Bad Guy, Billie Eilish, Dancing's Not a Crime, Panic at the Disco, Youth by Shawn Mendes, Senorita, Camila Cabello and Shawn Mendes, Forever by Charlie XCX, Seven Rings by Ariana Grande, Come and Get It by Selena Gomez, and Born This Way by Lady Gaga. Now, you could include a few more songs because that's probably a pretty small playlist. And again, I just pick songs that are singles from a friend or really popular at the time. I don't know the history behind these songs, if they're bad, if they're worth it, if they're upbeat, if they're controversial. So please don't come at me. And if they are controversial, please tell me in the comments, and I will correct my mistake in the description. Then we move on to the special guests throughout the tour. Now there would obviously be loads more dates and things, other than the list 16 or 17 she had. So it wouldn't be just these people. It'd probably be way more. But one of them would be pretty obvious, would be Brendan Urie coming out on certain nights, maybe his hometown shows or whatever, for me. We'd also Shawn Mendes on certain nights perform, because he came out during the Reputation tour, and he could perform the Lover remix, and also some of his songs. Selena Gomez I think is an obvious one. Katy Perry, because they recently made up and she was in the You Need to Calm Down music video, and her song, she recently had a few songs come out. I think Camila Cabello could be one, Charlie XCX, because they were friends, and I think they also opened up on the Reputation tour, correct me if I'm wrong. The Dixie Chicks I think could be one. I think they're now known as the Chicks, but I'm not sure. You have to correct me on that. They wouldn't perform Sooner to Get Better. I purposely left it off the set list because that is too personal of a song, but they probably perform some of her songs. And I do think some other male artists like Kendrick Lamar, because they were friends at that time, maybe Ed Sheeran, who knows. But like these kind of people who she's friends with, who have a music released, I think pretty obvious. However, obviously she had like she wouldn't do, it wasn't as big as a tour with many dates, so it wouldn't be loads of artists, but probably more than that. Next, we're going to talk about the exit songs. So, for example, the end of the Eras tour when the concert's over, during the 2023 leg and the Australian and Asian leg of the tour, the exit song was "You're on Your Own, Kid," and I think after TTPD it was "The Alchemy." I'm not sure if that's still like that now, but I do think there'll be the two choices, or it could be both. Would be "I Forgot That You Existed," because I didn't include it on my set list because I just don't think it's a tour song. So I think that could be and Unquits from Lover, or she could do New Year's Day because that's like a Lover-esque song from Reputation, and I think it's a really cute way to end the tour. But if we're following the trend for like, for example, from Eras, where it was from the most recently released album, I think I Forgot That You Existed, but it could be both. I do like the idea of it being both. I did think about having I Forgot That You Existed on the pre-show playlist. However, on like the first few dates, or if people had no idea what the set list was because they wanted to hide it from themselves, if it was on the pre-show playlist, then they would instantly know it's not on the set list. So I just leave it to the end. Next, we're going to talk about the tour film. Now, this tour is a very interesting tour because it's not, in my opinion, it's not really a tour. She's just like showing up at loads of different festivals and music events around the world. Obviously, be a lot more. However, there were some places, so like LoverFest Germany, LoverFest Brazil, and LoverFest East and West. Those places had their own like, LoverFest made. So I do think that the show would be the like LoverFest stadium shows that like took place inside like SoFi Stadium. I think the LA shows in there would be filmed, and then the tour film was released on Disney Plus during like early 2021, I think, unless she has more tour dates to go. But again, I do think she'd have like a pretty small tour. I do think she'd want to have the like stadium version of the Lovefest be filmed because that would be her completely her own. Whereas a lot of the other ones, like for example Glastonbury, they would have been like in festivals, and it was not just her. And obviously they'd be a lot more stripped back, and they wouldn't have as much of her ideas on it because you can't do because a festival stage can't really be changed. However, with the Love Festival, and it's her own heart stage. I do talk a lot more about like, the set design in this video. Again, it is down below. Check it out. And we're going to move on to the like awards and like nominations because you can actually have your like tour be nominated and get awards. For example, the Reputation tour won like Tour of the Year in like the iHeart Music Awards with this iconic speech and this iconic dress, you know. Now, I do think it would only win one award, and that would be the VMA show of the summer, and I think that would be because it wouldn't be considered a tour because again, it is just like festival appearances and like very few like tour kind of dates, sort of, just like Loverfest East, West, Germany, and Brazil. Obviously, there'll be other places as well, but I do think it wouldn't be considered a tour. So if it was nominated for everything else, I do think other things could win over it. Especially because a lot of other artists are probably planning to go on tour that year, so who knows. So I do think it would win Show of the Summer because that one is a bit more vague and it could go for like a festival concert or a tour or just like a concert. But I don't know if that's the rules with it. I'm not sure how it works. I just put it down like, yeah, we're good. Now we're going to move on to the like extra dates and places that were not announced. So in case you didn't know, there were about 16 dates announced. I think I have them up here now, so I might just read them off for you. But she was going to appear in like all the festivals around Europe and South America, and they did say they're going to announce more UK and Ireland dates and more international dates. Obviously, the tour was cancelled and postponed before she got the chance to announce new dates. But she was planning to go to Belgium, Germany for Loverfest Germany, Norway, England, Denmark, Poland, France, Spain, Portugal, Brazil, and the US for Loverfest East and West, and Brazil, Loverfest Brazil. Like in England, it was like Glastonbury. She would have gone to Australia, Japan, Singapore, Scotland, Ireland, and Canada. Because again, these places she went to the Eras tour as well. And I do think she would have gone to there as well. Obviously, not for many days, and it would depend on festival appearances and stuff. And I do think the tour could probably like end in like late 2020 in Australia or Asia. I do think that'd be a nice place to end. However, she could go back to the US. Now, in my last video, I think, I did say how she apparently had announced a tour date in Atlanta for like LoverFest. However, I've looked through her entire Instagram, and I looked at Taylor Nation's Instagram, like, and went scrolled all the way back, a lot of work, but I looked through it and I could not find a single announcement of any like dates or anything, which I found really weird. But I heard in another video that she had had a date in Atlanta, but it's not on this list on Wikipedia, and it's like not on their Instagram. So it could have been like a story, but I do feel like Taylor Nation wouldn't, because they usually post a lot. So I do think that's a bit weird. So if that was true, please someone let me know, because I wasn't a Swiftie back then. But then our final thing we're going to talk about is like the opening artist. I don't think there'll be any opening artists, because a lot of the time, again, she'll be appearing at festivals, where I think she would either have maybe a day allocated for her. I'm not sure how festivals work, but maybe it'd be like a day allocated to her, or it'd be like a section. And obviously, you can't have openers there. So, and I do think to keep that kind of festival realism, I do think for the like LoverFest Germany, LoverFest Brazil, LoverFest East and West, I do think she wouldn't. And also, she did mention in her Instagram caption like Lover is like sun and open fields and things like that. So I do think she'd want to start earlier, because she'd want her set to be mostly in the sun, not like a concert at night, like Eras and 1989 tour, etc. And obviously, if she had opening artists and she wanted to start early, opening artists make super early in the day. I do think it wouldn't make sense, because a lot of people wouldn't be arriving like that early in the day. Like, if I were to think about it, the tour would start around 3, 4, 5 p.m., especially because it is in summer, end around like 7 or 8, just as like it's becoming like dusk. And if that's the case, then openers will come at like 1 or 2 p.m. I don't think a lot of people would arrive until, for regular concerts, till 3 or 4. So please correct me if I'm wrong, because I've never been to a concert. Wish I could go to Eras, but we're fine. So yeah, that's my opinion on why there would be like opening artists, because she wouldn't have it in most places, so I don't see why she would do it for others. However, if I did miss something in her Instagram thing where she did include an opening artist, please tell me in the comments again, because I didn't really look at it that much, to be honest. We just got the Friends. That just makes me think of special guests. So that's like the Friends that I mentioned before. But anyway, guys, that is all my like extra bit about LoverFest I thought I would mention. A bit of a short video. I'm actually really glad that my past the parts 2, 3, and this one have been quite short, and I'm glad I have, because I have a problem with talking, and I'm glad I managed to negate that. But anyway, let me know your ideas. Anything else you think I should have talked about, your ideas. And again, Nicole Miller, I got a lot of my inspiration from her. Again, she's down below. The playlist for LoverFest, all the videos will be down below. And please, if you like this video, please like this video and maybe share it as well, because again, it helped me out a lot. And also, please consider subscribing. Again, I am a Taylor Swift kind of channel, and I do a lot of videos about Taylor Swift, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.